Yo guys, before I start this video, I just wanted to let you know that I have started a new channel with my friends called The Weebcast. This is where we will talk about anything related to anime. So don't forget to subscribe to that channel. Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Anizi with What If Naruto Was From the Omni clan. This is an OC clan that I've created. So before we start the video, I will explain the abilities and the backstory. Then let me know if you want some more. So let's get into the clan's abilities. First is immense power. They have limitless chakra, ki, and magic, which surpasses all of the other races. Second is immense strength. Even without ki, chakra enhancing his strength, they can destroy a universe with a single punch. Well, at least the high tier Omni clan members can. Third is power immunity and intimidation. All chakra, magic, ki are connected to one source, the Omni clan. The Omni clan was the first to use it, so they are like the most powerful users of it. So if they encounter someone weaker, like let's just say from the Otsutsuki clan using chakra, and the Otsutsuki clan challenges the Omni clan member, if the Omni clan member uses chakra intimidation, his chakra would spike and go out of control, destroying his body. Also, they can also nullify all chakra, magic, or ki, or any type of powers, because they are the source of all power. All power comes from the Omni clan itself because God granted them the power and they shared it throughout the universe. Bloodline immunity. Any bloodlines that use the power source that are provided by the Omni clan, which includes magic, ki, chakra once again, are useless against an Omni clan member. Well, if the Omni clan member allows it. The Omni clan member can also turn off their bloodline immunity so they can go undercover in missions. They also possess unrivaled intelligence. Clan members are born with the knowledge on how to use their powers, and they are also intelligent and born with the theory behind how their power works, and they'll make Naras look primitive. They also have acidic blood. The blood of an Omni clan member can burn through a planet to nothing if given enough time, and it can instantly kill an Otsutsuki branch member. They also have near-death power boost, which means they can get stronger near-death. They can get at least 2 times the power or something like that. Now we go into bloodlines. The Omnigan ability, the Omnigan is the name of the dojutsu that the Omni clan possess. First is Eyes of Destruction, can destroy anything they look at, including mind and power itself. The next is Eyes of Sleep, can easily put someone to sleep with a single glance. They have Instinct as a passive ability, so if they're in danger, they can unconsciously use their eyes even when the person is unconscious, and it will do anything it needs to be done to protect them, using any jutsus, any magic, any chakra, anything. And they can copy abilities. The second level of the Omnigan is his Eyes of Destruction level 2. His eyes can destroy immortal or indestructible objects in level 2. Also, using the Eyes of Destruction level 2 at full power will cause existence itself to collapse. On level 2, the Omnigan also gives a passive ability of no matter how strong the foe is, the Omnigan will always evolve and adapt to exceed the opponent's power by copying abilities, expanding its own power, or doing anything. Now we go into his non-dojutsu based abilities. First is the Black and Red Flames of Heaven and Hell. Merging the flames of heaven and hell to create a more powerful flame that can even burn the goddess of flames, Amaterasu herself, which can destroy anyone including their souls. Next is Soul Target, where he can target the soul of the enemy so all his attacks will go to the soul instead of the body. Next is Soul Kill, which is an instant kill move which can easily just destroy the soul, causing the target to die. Next is Universal Barrier, can create a barrier as strong as the barriers that keep the universes in the multiverse separated. Hell Flames and Amaterasu Flames separately. He can summon Amaterasu Flames separately and Hell Flames separately. Reality Warp Castle, which is basically summoning a castle where they can control anything. Then is his most powerful ability, Reality Warp Everywhere. He can control reality everywhere, not just in his castle. The downside to this overusing the castle one is he is knocked out for a year after, due to the stress of his brain having to have the information of everything that's going around him. The next is Powerful Aura, where they envelop themselves in a powerful aura, making it so that if anybody has a dojutsu, their eyes explodes. Black Earth and Black Water, which is a stronger version of Earth and Water. Nightmare, can cast an unbreakable illusion where the enemy suffers. This is not a genjutsu but an illusion, so chakra won't be able to just break him out or them out. Elemental Combination, can combine all elemental nature to create a doomsday element which will erase or destroy anything. Great Reflexes, can catch all attacks including jutsus and send them back. 7 Steps of Destruction, where if he takes 7 steps, each steps the universe shakes, but when the 7th step is taken, the universe is destroyed. Weapons of the Omni clan can basically, they summon a weapon, which is a sword for Naruto's case, but the sword can be different types of sword. So the first type of sword he can summon using his chakra. The sword will be made out of chakra basically, or magic, or whichever one he chooses, yeah, whichever power source he chooses. The first sword is the Sword of Destruction, which can destroy anything, no matter how infinite or internal one or something is. It isn't affected by anything and it doesn't follow the rules of the world. It just exists to destroy Naruto's enemies. The next is Time Sword, which is the next variant of the sword, which can erase or restore specific events in time. Reincarnation Sword is a sentient sword that will overwrite one's existence with Naruto's. So if Naruto dies and he stabs someone and he wants to be instantly reincarnated at full power, because he can normally just reincarnate himself without using the sword, but he won't be at full power, he will need to slash someone with the Sword of Reincarnation. Purgatory Gates Chains is another one of abilities that will drag you into hell for a certain time or even forever if Naruto wants it. Can perform resurrection in a certain time frame. So within 5 minutes he can resurrect a person. Can't die, only reincarnate. He doesn't die, he only reincarnates. And he can use all chakra natures if I haven't made that clear before. So now that you know all of his abilities, we will now go on to the Omni clan's backstory. Okay, so this story starts off when God, the first being that came into existence, not the gods of destruction, god of time, but the first ever god, the one that was the first being that ever existed, grew bored and alone, so he created a female that will bear his offspring. They did a deed and the god's first child was born. The god left the mother to raise the child, who eventually went on to create the Omni clan. Omni meaning all, because they are basically everything, and they are basically the source of all power. While that was going on, God was creating the Animeverse, or known as the anime multiverse, which includes the Narutoverse, Dragon Ball verse, and everything. The Omni clan are naturally superior to every race, including Saiyans, Otsutsukis, or anyone, as they are God's true children and they aren't evil or racist, just proud. Well, that's their personality. They are actually very powerful. They would be at least 5th dimensional level. Well, they're babies at 5th dimensional. If I were to give them a scaling, they'll be 10th dimensional at full power. The Otsutsuki consider them as rivals as well as Saiyans for the position of the most powerfulest, but they are ants compared to the Omni clan. And the Omni clan has no branch clan members because they believe that all Omni clan members are equal. Also, I'll be going into the backstory more and more later on, but this is like a brief backstory. So guys, let's start with the story. We'll begin on a planet far, far away from the elemental nations, or Earth as we call them. We see a mother giving birth to a child, but there was one problem. There was a complication in the pregnancy. Either the mother will die or the child will die. This was the son of Prince and Princess of the Omni clan, Rias and N. My lord, either the mother or the child will die if you go through with the pregnancy, the doctor said. Is there any way to save my son? Prince N asked. There is a way, through reincarnation. We can use the techniques that the gods themselves blessed us with to reincarnate him into someone else. Well, at least use them as a vessel to give birth to him so your wife doesn't die, the doctor says. I see, very well. Let's pick the right person then, the king said. The prince said, as he was searching throughout the universes and found one in the Narutoverse. A suitable vessel called Krishna Uzumaki. She was gonna die either way, so she might as well die giving birth to his son, doing something great for the universe. How far away is this planet? The prince asked. Well, this is the closest planet that has the suitable vessel. So I'll say around 18 to 20 years away, the doctor said. Very well, commence with the reincarnation, as the doctor did the reincarnation technique, saving the princess, as the prince explained to the princess that her son was safe and that he would still be alive, but we just need to go and retrieve them. The princess was happy that her son was alive. We now go to planet Elam. It was October the 10th. Krishna was giving birth to triplets. As soon as she was done, Obito came and tried to take Naruto, but was flung back by Naruto's passive ability, which protected him from danger. Everyone was shocked. Obito then went for Memma, who was then saved by Minato. And then they sealed the full 9 tails into Naruto, giving the scraps of chakra in the air to Memma and Mito. The third Hokage comes and picks up the kids, taking them. He then explains to the council what had happened, and the civilians were shouting for the deaths of the kids. Jiraiya and Tsunade then came in and said they will be taking 2 of the 3 kids, and 2 of which who would save the world. They then took Memma and Mito while leaving Naruto, thinking that Naruto was weak, because Naruto had suppressed his chakra unconsciously. Over the years, Naruto's life was a hell. He was bullied and hated by the villagers. We now go to the moon's point of view. We see 2 girls looking at Earth. This was the mother and daughter combo of Kaguya and Yakuzuki, who were 2 Otsutsuki royals. Kaguya had over the years allowed Yariko to watch over the world, but Yariko mostly watches over the Leaf Village, but not just the village, but a certain blonde, whiskered child. called Naruto. She had developed a major crush on Naruto. Let's just say it exceeds the level of Albedo's love for Ainzu from Overlord. She likes Naruto because he is pure of heart, but she senses something powerful that exceeds her and her mother, which turns her on. Even Kaguya crushed on Naruto a bit due to his power, but stopped when she found out her daughter liked him. She thought that he was cute with her. Well, Yariko thought that he was cute with his whiskers. It made him look like a fox, and that was her favorite animal. She wanted to go to Naruto, which Kaguya allowed, but Kaguya said that Kaguya said she has to master and learn to fully use her Tensei gun and everything about the world before, just to be safe. We now go on to Naruto's point of view. He was walking down the alleyway when a mob of villagers came surrounding him. Naruto was scared. He was 5 and he saw a bunch of grown-ups with weapons surrounding him. Well, what do we have here? The useless demon who won't even save the world, the villagers said. At least your brothers are going to do something, another one said. And your sister as well, the other said. I'm trying to go home. Excuse me, Naruto said, unaware that the villagers were there to attack him. He was only 5 and this was his first time in the situation. He was really scared. Oh look, the demon's acting cute and dumb. It's time we avenge our families. 5 years ago, the villagers said as they started to beat on Naruto. But then, as soon as Naruto saw the first hit land on him, his eyes turned purple as a strange black pattern came on them. Then a sword appeared out of nowhere. It had a time symbol on it as Naruto grabbed it. The villagers backed away. The sword was terrifying. It had a terrifying aura, like it was worse than the Kyuubi itself. Demon, put that away. You don't want to do this. Naruto, believing them, was about to put it away, but then suddenly red chakra seeped out of Naruto, mostly from the head, as his whiskers turned dark. Kurama was influencing him. Naruto did a slice in the air as the sword erased the villagers from the timeline itself. Naruto was then knocked out after using so much power as the sword dematerialized. Everyone forgot those villagers even existed apart from Naruto, so he wasn't in trouble. We now go to Yaku's point of view. Yaku is currently fangirling over what Naruto just did. What Kaguya and Yaku saw amazed them. They saw a 5-year-old take out some grown men just by summoning a really powerful sword that erased them out of timeline. Wow, Kaguya said, amazed, as Yaku nodded and smiled. Her Naruto-kun was amazing. We now go back to Naruto's point of view. Naruto was standing outside some giant gates. As he walked up to the gates, he saw a giant fluffy fox. Kurama was about to try and scare Naruto, but was surprised when a blur hit him, knocking him over as Naruto was hugging him. Kurama was confused. Normally when people saw a giant scary fox, they would run away, but this kid was hugging him. Kurama sensed his power and he was higher than Sage 6 pulse. He knew he should not mess with Naruto. His power was immeasurable. Naruto Uzumaki, so we finally meet. You are interesting, you got a strange power, Kurama said. Fluffy, Naruto said. No, my name is Kurama, Kurama said. No, Fluffy is Fluffy, Naruto said. No, it's Kurama, Kurama yelled. Naruto got angry as his Omnigan flared. Kurama felt fear in his body. This was because of Naruto's power intimidation, since the Omnigan was the source of all power and the origin of all power sources, which included chakra. So Naruto's power was beyond that of Kurama and more superior. Fine, you can call me Fluffy, Kurama said, scared and terrified, but also disappointed in himself that a 5-year-old beat him, the great Kurama. Yay, Fluffy, Naruto said as he hugged Kurama, as his eyes turned back off and he was back in his happy, childish demeanor, hugging Kurama like a giant plush. Kurama was internally thinking, is he just a giant plush for this child's entertainment? Kurama then explained all that happened during the Nine Tails to Naruto. Naruto was surprisingly understanding, because he was intelligent, very intelligent. He was naturally more intelligent than people. He was just more childish in personality. Naruto then wakes up. He was back in his house. The nice dog Ambu must have taken me here, Naruto thought, as he then went to sleep. Yaku watched Naruto's interaction with Kurama and found it cute. She squealed when Naruto hugged Kurama as she saw the little foxy hugging the big foxy in her head, but it was actually just Naruto hugging Kurama. Kaguya also laughed seeing Kurama get put down a peg by a 6-year-old or a 5-year-old. We now see Naruto starting academy. Naruto was disliked while his siblings were treated as gods with Sasuke. They had fangirls, but Naruto for some reason didn't care. When Menma would flex that he had fangirls, because Naruto knew that they would leave Menma for a more powerful man if it ever came to that. It was just how those whores were, attention seekers. But what did affect Naruto was the fact that everyone, because of his siblings, hated him. They treated him like a monster. Over the next few years, it made him sad. No one wanted to be friends with Naruto. He was a bit suicidal. He only had Kurama, which was his only friend, but he really did want some friends in real life. Someone to care for him, since Naruto was always alone. Naruto got sad, and since Naruto was sad, it had always rained since that day. There was never some light. Why do you hate me? Naruto asked the world, looking at the sky. Unknown to Naruto, Yariko was watching as she let out a killing intent, which made Mema meet her at their house fall over. She was really angry. If it wasn't for Kurama taking over and saving Naruto, Naruto would have committed suicide today. She decided today would be the day that she'll talk to her mother. Mother, I've decided I want to go to Earth and I want to help Naruto. Protect him. I want to show him that there's someone that cares about him, Yariko said. Very well, Kaguya said, as she opened a portal up for Yariko to go to a human realm. Naruto was talking to Kurama in his mindscape after his failed attempt. Kurama was angry. Kurama was shouting at him, trying to stop him. Kurama saw Naruto as a son, and his son just tried to commit suicide, which pissed him off. But suddenly, Naruto's mindscape lit up and a figure was seen. But guys, that's all for today. Peace.